Welcome in another episode of our Inside of Things show. Today we will talk about the technology, namely about cutting edge. What is the cutting edge? And about that we will talk with our new guest, Kuba. Kuba, can you introduce yourself, say a few things about you?
Of course, Pavel. Hello, it's nice to be here. My name is Jakub Kaczyński. I'm IoT pre-sales and portfolio lead at Transition Technologies PSC. In my area of responsibility lies two main topics. One is pre-sales, so support, technical support of the business development. And second part is portfolio, so taking care about our capabilities, about our offer, about technologies we are working with, products, and what we can offer our customers.
Cool, because your position and your experience giving us a really nice perspective, because I wanted to talk about the technology and how this technology works for the organizations. Yeah, so perfect place for you, I would say. Okay, so let's talk about this digitalization process. What is the digitalization? Because someone says that this is Industry Revolution 4.0, this is something totally different. It has multiple names, but how do you understand this digitalization stuff?
I'm working very closely with our customers, and that also affects my point of view. And from my perspective, digitalization is a journey. It's a journey that many organizations are starting in order to increase efficiency, to bring a new value to their overall operations. And it's a really great travel that we are going with them. And basically, of course, every company, every organization is understanding digitalization a little bit different. From my perspective, it's a matter of really bringing a new value. So it's a matter of using the new technologies, new inventions, new opportunities to leverage them in order to use in the business, in the everyday operation, and to make it easier, faster, more efficient. So overall, to help our customers.
Yeah, and I really like the word journey, because according to different reports, about 50%, more or less, 50% of the organizations are really advanced in the digitalization, whatever it means. Okay, they're saying that they already started the system implementations. Yeah, they're quite advanced. They're digital, let's say, and about 90% of the organization already started, or at least planning to start the journey. Okay, how does it look from your perspective? Like current year or maybe last year, because we are talking at the very beginning of the 2021 year. So maybe how this 2020 looked, because it was totally different year than others. from many reasons, but from the digitalization point of view, how it was different from the previous years?
First of all, I will try to answer the first part, and later I will answer the second one. So basically, regarding the numbers, of course, every report has own numbers.
Of course, yeah.
And depending how you understand, as I mentioned, every organization is naming digitalization to a little bit different initiatives. And basically, if we are talking about this understanding, very dispersed understanding, we can say that every organization has own digitalization process usually. But if we are talking about this kind of full-fledged digitalization journey that is going with the new trends, going to a little bit explore what is possible, then I would say that it's not so bright and not so easy, because of course, as every trend setting, that's a trend setting, it's hard. It requires very complex approach. That's why a lot of organizations are starting with small POCs, small exploration, And if in terms of this kind of journey that is taken with small steps, small projects, small phases, yeah, a lot of organizations is trying what this digitalization is about. So that's a positive. In terms of last year, of course, it was a mess. It was a very game changer, I would say, right? Because as always, we had some stable growth, stable journeys, stable projects and opportunities, and suddenly, out of the sudden, right, pandemic arose, and basically that changed the direction a little bit, right? Pandemic and COVID made us to put our efforts in a little bit different direction. So, of course, a couple new trends started, like remote service, remote diagnostic, remote work, everything remote. Also, a new trend like Internet of Behaviors. So, new trend to really analyze, gather details on people behaviors, also workers' behaviors on the workplace, on their contacts with each other, on their behavior in terms of wearing the safety protections like masks, gloves, and so on. And a whole new trend arose regarding this kind of area. So basically, this, as I said, this changed the direction of the digitalization and made a whole new area to appear.
Yeah, but I think, or maybe I would say like this, I see this 2020 as a game changer, of course, but also as an accelerator. Even in some organization planned to go more online, let's say, now they suddenly has to. Now we have to go online if we want to operate. Because if we won't, speed up with this digitalization direction, this specific direction, you have to go to work to allow our employees to work remotely. We simply stop being operative. Yeah, so it was an accelerator.
Yeah, even a little bit from different direction.
Yeah.
They was forced to speed up this area, at least this COVID-enabled area, in order to operate. But of course.
And this pretty much the technologies used for this speed up were pretty much in line with what I've heard a few years ago. Because I even gave a speech about the trends in technologies, and it was like a few years ago. And even then, people started to say that what will be trendy or what will be hyped in the future. So, Internet of Things, Industry Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, cloud, AR,
edge computing,
of course, edge computing, and so on and so on. The only trend the people was saying, and I cannot really see it now, is this 3D printing. Of course, it's popular, but not at the scale people expected, or maybe some of the people expected. Yeah, and from your perspective, what is, let's say, 3 or 5 technologies from this list, okay, that everyone is saying that it's now on hype, that are most important for your clients, for the organization you work with, and how they affect those organizations?
There is definitely a couple of them, and I would say that definitely going, for example, hybrid. That's one of the trends that we see that is really strong. Of course, edge computing to enable this analysis, this working on the data as close to the source of data as possible, in order to enable fast actions, enable fast control of the work without worrying about network latency and other disruptions, other problems. So that's a very interesting area that definitely is worth to work on. And also, of course, artificial intelligence and subset machine learning. That's definitely thing this year to work on, to expand, to explore as well a little bit for our customers, with our customers, because that definitely enables us to have some quick wins. I would add to this list you mentioned two additional topics. One is cybersecurity. It's a trend or area that is in the center of many organizations' interest for a couple of last years, and it growed to be more and more important because, of course, especially due to COVID, a lot of new risks, new threats arose, and requires us to put more effort on making sure that our infrastructure, our applications, our software is more and more safe. Just that. And second trend that, from my perspective, is very interesting. It's longer lasting. It's not for this year, but that is definitely something worth to check from time to time and be informed. Is quantum computing, with phenomena like quantum entanglement and superposition, and this is very interesting, especially considering the fact that we have a quantum computer already, and it was used to enable faster research on COVID topics, like analysis of the spread of the pandemic, helps in the vaccine research, and so on. So of course it's not yet ready to be used on the shop floor.
Of course.
But in longer term, who knows what we will have in 2-5 years.
Yeah, and I believe those two topics that you mentioned are really connected with each other. Yeah, because I read a really nice article that security, we know right now, will be nothing in the age of quantum computing. Yeah, because we will have all the algorithms, security algorithms based on quantum. Yeah, so now we have algorithms based on the big numbers. Okay, which can be brute forced. Yeah, and because of the idea of quantum computing pretty much allows you, at least in the concept, to check all the possibilities at the same moment. Basically, brute forcing even most sophisticated algorithms will be like
nanoseconds. That's true, and that's a challenge, and that's also fascinating aspect of the digitalization and in general new technologies, that you need to be always informed on what is going on, what are the trends, what should be researched, what should be taken care of and work on. So that's great, and that's also a challenge. Not only for us as a, for example, service provider, or for myself as a someone who needs to be to keep in touch with those news and new technologies and trends, but also for our customers. Single organization that is focused, for example, on manufacturing, finds it very complex, very hard to keep up with this fast-pacing technologies. And that's normal. That's obviously they should focus on their job, on the domain that they are experts in. But that also highlights the importance of seeking a good partner, good integrator, good technology organization that is on top, that knows what is going on with those technologies and can help with exploration, with finding a good approach and good fit to the particular business needs.
Yeah, of course, because not everyone needs to be technical. Yeah, and
of course,
it's very convenient that you can hire another company to do the research or gives you some ideas. Yeah, of course. And from your experience, what can you see how implementation of this digitalization technologies, let's say, affecting these organizations? Can you see the, I don't know, the bigger revenue, I don't know, the lower employment, or?
Basically, we need to be aware about one fact. Everything in business is about money, about revenue, lowering cost, increasing revenue. Of course, we need to worry about our culture, organizational culture, about ethics, about all those factors that are around the business, because those are very, very important, of course. But in every initiative, in every investment of the customer, somewhere there needs to be a good value driver, right? Business value that is driving this initiative, driving this digitalization to make the business easier, to make it faster, and of course, digitalization as a whole trend definitely helps organization in finding a better approach to their business, right? To, for example, from last opportunities I was involved and discussions with customer to, for example, reduce the downtimes, increase the output, to help the workers, right? To make them more efficient, give them help in context, in appropriate context, and to speed up overall work, right? So definitely those are the values we are seeking with our customers, and this is typical, approach to every initiative. We need to be aware what are the goals, what is the ROI, and then we can think about the direct path to this.
So about the investments here, because I can imagine the situation where the customer has his first touch with the cloud, in example. Engaging with the cloud can be costly, especially when you have no idea about what the cloud is. So our customers are willing to make even big investments nowadays, or they rather waiting for something that you already mentioned, something like the calculations. Okay, you will have to invest, I don't know, this amount of money, but when you reach this goal and achieve this and develop this solution, your revenue will be, or back of your investment will be like twice as much or something like that.
Basically, it's obvious that every investment is analyzed appropriately. Sometimes it's very hard to find this ROI in some initiatives because they give us non-financial effects, right? So it's not always so straightforward that we are sitting, writing down the value, calculating cost versus effect, bam, we have innovation. Sometimes finding this value is of course a longer journey, but in the end, always we need to have in back of our mind that this project, this opportunity, this approach needs to bring this value. So we are trying to find it as soon as possible, and that's why, for example, a good approach that IoT in general brings to IT, to software development and project organization, is to go with step-by-step approach. To start with something small, to explore, to try something straightforward, some low-hanging fruits, and then evaluate if it's good or not, and then plan next step. Of course, we need to have in mind some longer perspective, some kind of roadmap. But the approach to this journey is step by step.
Yeah, I totally agree. Even I was engaged in the project. I'm still in this project when the customer said that we need to change the backend of our application and put it in the cloud. I was like, okay, no problem. This is what we are doing. Okay, why? Because we want to improve user experience of the users of our application. I was like, why not? So I believe that if we put your backend in the cloud, you can reduce the response time and so on and so on. We can, store larger amount of data without any problem. We have this disaster recovery, scalability, and so on and so on. But you need to know that it can be costly. And the guy from the customer side said, yeah, but we made the research, and if we improve user experience by 30%, we will have at least 25 new clients, okay? And they will pay for our product and so on and so on. And he gave me all the calculations. I was like, come on, I had no idea that you can pretty much, have this wide view, okay? That it's not only the technology, okay? We are innovative, we are using the cloud because everyone is doing it. No, we know what we want to achieve. Yes.
Yeah, this is very complex. This is very hard to find this. You need to really evaluate the initiative, the idea from every angle.
Yeah.
And to do that, you need to have a good view on the overall, landscape of the initiative. And basically, I'm coming from the technical side. I started as a developer, right, many years ago, and also my approach to the projects were pretty technical. What new technologies we can use, what kind of new libraries we can use, right, and so on. But with time, with working with customers, discussing with them, expanding also my personal view on the opportunities, also brought me to this conclusion that technologies are great. I'm still fascinating by technologies, but every technology and every project needs to have some background, some business background. It's not done, in vacuum.
Yeah.
It's done in specific landscape, in specific environment, ecosystem of customer, and a lot of interdependencies need to be taken care of and analyzed. So great kudos for your customer that he's aware of that and can do that kind of analysis. But that's a good approach to the project, right?
Yeah, and I believe this is a great conclusion about the topic of the episode. That the cutting edge technology, it's important to use the new technologies, but using of each of the technology needs to be driven by the business need. Yeah,
Exactly.
No matter what it will be. Thank you, and we leave our friends with that conclusion. Thank you for joining us, and looking forward to see you in future episodes. Thanks.
Thank you.